game. How's the squad looking for this weekend? How did they feel last weekend?
Yes, we didn't. Trying to think who was missing. No, we've just got obviously Nathan was missing through injury last week, so we're still assessing him whether he can be involved tomorrow. Brian Maguire obviously is still out as expected, as we know, but everyone else is fit and available and ready to go.
How do you approach this game when you played the opponent last week? Is it an unusual one? Do you have to take that into account, just what happened last week?
Yeah, but only the same as we would have done from our perspective as a performance. So whoever we'd have played last week, we'd have looked for what things we did well and what we could do better next time. So that's the same. That's irrelevant to who we're playing tomorrow. The difference is with Aberdeen, obviously the manager's changed, unfortunately. So with that sometimes bring changes as well. They played in midweek, so we've analysed that as well. So there's bits and pieces we've looked at, but I don't know if last week's game will have any bearing on tomorrow. It's about us making sure that we do all those things that we did well last week and doing them again.
Obviously you were delighted on Saturday night to go through the cup, but did you get a wee bit of a sobering moment when you see that your fellow manager has lost his job the next day? Is that something that hits you as a manager as well?
Yeah, definitely. But we live with that cloud day in day out. Because it's not just obviously we played Aberdeen last week, and obviously I was up against Stephen last week, so it brings it closer to home because it was the last game. But you see it all over the UK week in, week out, so you realise it's always there. It's about putting that to one side and getting on with your job, but it's never nice. I think my dealings with Stephen over the games that we played this year have always been ultra competitive, but as soon as the whistle went, I found him to be a real nice guy, real good character, and listen, I've been there before, so I understand how he's feeling. But without doubt, he's a talented manager, and he'll come good again.
I think his departure makes you the fourth longest serving manager, despite the fact you only came here in January. How more difficult is it for managers now in terms of getting time to build what you want and different things, because you just don't seem to get a lot of it?
No, that's it. It's the fact of the job. Unfortunately, I think the pressure that everybody is under to get results is magnified week in, week out. The profile, the scrutiny that everyone is under is there for all to see. I think the manager at all clubs takes the brunt of that the majority of the times. So, but I always believe, when things are going well, it's more than one man. It's everyone plays a part in those successful times, and on the flip side of it, it's true on the other side if it's not going so well, that it's not just down to one man. But we all know when we go into this occupation and this job that that threat is there. It's not getting any easier. I'd say it's getting difficult or harder every year. But that's life. We have to crack on, and we still love the job, all of us. I would think. I think if you didn't have that, it'd be an even harder job if you didn't actually love what you're doing, because the stuff you have to deal with. But we all know it's there, and we'll try to win games to be successful. And but that's the game. Unfortunately, we're not in control of that. It's other people in control of that. So we have to focus on what we can control.
I know maybe getting the time's one thing, but how long do you, for example, as a manager, need to implement your philosophies and get the team you want and playing the right style and different things?
I don't know. I think you have to do it as soon as you can, straight away. And the thing is, I think, as it always is, I would say at the majority of clubs, it's down to your players. If you've got motivated players and intelligent players and good characters, then it's easier, it's quicker, because they take it on board, they put it in place, they create a team straight away. But if you've got a load of individuals that don't want to do that or can't do that, it's more difficult. So it's the same, success, failure, this, that, the other time. I think it's a lot dependent on obviously your work and how you get your message across, but obviously on the level of player you have and what they can take on board. But and you don't know that until you actually take the job and you actually work with these players and that. And that's what I found last year. It was obviously a difficult position. Players were probably a little bit foggy about what they how they needed to play or to do, what to do. We made it clear for them. We hoped they would pick it up quite quickly, and they did. So it's never you couldn't write a page of to-do list when you go into a new job. It's you have to go in and then find what you've got and then work as hard as you can with everybody, not just you, but with everybody to make it successful. But it's not a great statistic what you just said there, really. It's considering I still feel new up here, and I'm fourth longest serving. That's not. I don't think that's good for the game. I don't think it's certainly not good for us as managers. But it is what it is.
I know, new transfer. I think this is the fourth time you've played Aberdeen since November. Has this been another sort of new factor for you coming up here and different things? Adjusting to playing teams sort of pretty much every month, by the way.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it definitely is different to what I'm used to. But I am getting there after a year. It's understanding what it is and actually. But there's advantages and disadvantages. All the advantages you have, the other team have. As in knowing what your team's about and knowing your playing style and tactics and set pieces and all that sort of stuff. So whatever advantages you may find from that are quickly equalled out because they have the same. And so it's we try to look outside the name of the team and just look at what qualities they have, how they play, and but first and foremost how we want to play. That's the biggest thing for me. I thought last week we played how we wanted to play. We were very positive. We had loads of energy, which was great. We scored goals at good times. We showed the character and spirit to come from a goal behind and win the game, which was brilliant to see. So we showed everything that you needed to show to win a game of football, but it was still a tight game, 2-1. So that's the challenge week in, week out. You have to tick a lot of boxes just to get narrow victories.
How pleasing was it to get Mark O'Hara back last week? He's obviously had a terrible time with injury over last year.
Yeah, it's look, we know when we've got a fully fit squad, we've got a really strong squad with a lot of talented players in it and good, but it's been difficult to keep everyone fit. And Mark's obviously been one of those players, but we know we have good quality in those midfield areas. I think Mark has had a tough time, but he's done a lot of good work while he's been off with his latest injury. Didn't have a massive amount of time training with us, probably about a week. But we looked at we looked at the condition of him coming back in. We looked at his energy in training, and to be honest, we were thinking, could we get 60 to 70 minutes out of him, get us a positive start in the game, and sort of be hopefully leading at that point, and maybe have to look after him. But I just kept an eye on him, kept running, kept working hard, and it's so we left him on. Much to the amusement of our medical team, I would say, but we had to win the game, and Mark helped us win the game. So we looked after him after that, as we did with all the other players. But that's how we have to work as a group of players. I believe we work at high intensity in our training, in our games, but then we have good recovery times in between. So players are going to have to be used to pushing their bodies to the limit, and Mark did that last week, come through it unscathed, and hopefully that'll be the case for the rest of the season, because we know what a good player he is.
Your home form this season, I think since the opening day you only lost to Rangers and Celtic here. I mean, that must be pleasing, how consistent that sort of home form has been this season. Yeah, and I felt we were unfortunate to lose that one against Hibs, to be honest. In the circumstances, but the response from the players has been brilliant since then. I think the crowd play a big part in that here at Fir Park, and but it's something that we've looked into a lot, as in how can we
or what are we doing differently at home to away, or vice versa, to try and get that away form a little bit better, as in results. But certainly at Fir Park, I think the conditions, the atmosphere, the way the crowd get behind the team, I think the players respond really well to that. I think, and we've got some fantastic victories here, but it's not just going to keep rolling on. We have to make sure we understand why we win those games, and make sure we train in that way, and then take it into games. It's not just a case of just rolling into the next game. We have to understand why we win, what we've done well, and repeat. And to be fair to the players, they've been doing that. So credit to them.
Can I ask you about your touchline ban? How will you deal with that? And did you feel that was a fair hearing?
I'd rather not speak about it, to be honest. I don't know what to say. To be honest, it's hard, because I'm struggling where I can actually voice my opinion, make it heard by the relevant people, without going down dramatic lines by the media stuff. I think I'm obviously not happy, but I think I'll continue to fight for my team and my club, continue to do the best for my players, but that side of it I'd rather leave alone, because I'm not going to win.
I know you said previously you wanted to talk to somebody at the SFA about it. Maybe have you been able to do that, at least to try and get a bit of clarity on what you can and can't do?
No, because I don't think anything will change. So I'd rather keep my words and my focus on things that I can affect and I can control. That's my team, my club, myself. So I'd rather concentrate on those things than things that I'm obviously not going to affect. That's where I'm at this moment, to be fair.
It's actually about Kevin Van Veen, who obviously was a great game last week. He's got a great goal, and he's speaking afterwards about how there was a bit of kind of rough and tumble maybe with Aberdeen defenders that kind of almost helped him. And kind of, like you said, he plays better on the edge. Is that what you've always found with Kevin? Do you encourage that, just to keep him the right side of that and just on the edge, and he gets the best out of him?
I think all players have to play on the edge. I think we all have to do that. We have to work and live on the edge. That's what it is. This is elite professional football. Everyone wants to win. You can't do that at 70%, 80%, 90%. It has to be all in. Kev plays within the rules at all times, but he competes just like every other player. I didn't see anything wrong from either team, to be fair, Kev or their centre halves. Their centre halves were trying to stop a good player doing his job, which is their job. And that's where it is. It's it's the bits that go on after games. Verbally, I don't want to really talk about. It's not my style or anything like that. But to be fair, I just saw two competitive teams trying to win the game, and so I would like, and I would expect, and I think every manager would expect all their players, week in, week out, to play right up to the limits that you can go to, because that's the only way you can win games. So all I saw was Kev pushing as hard as he can to win a game of football for his club, and it was great to see, because I thought the team played like that, and that's why we got the result. I think if we try to ease our way through a game, we're not going to do ourselves justice. So I didn't see anything untoward or wrong last week. So no, it's just another game of football.